Hey guys, it's me Shane. I'm here to give you another Digimon Adventure 2020 episode review, and of course give you a recap before we tell you how well this episode did out of 5. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. Today's episode was episode 17, and it was called The Battle in Tokyo against Orochi. I'm going to say Orochimaru against Orochimon. So I got my notes here. Let me go ahead and just tell you what happened. Of course, today the encyclopedia was Bergermon, and the last little tidbit it gave was that, judging by the color of its feathers on its body, the temperature is at 1500 degrees, and Coach was kind of wondering how it's Sora sitting on her when it's so hot. Maybe she's on a special cushion, or maybe it's just anime, but who knows. Next time, we're going to get Togemon. So, recap from last time, just remember they fought Aizmon, and Aizmon is the reason why that Tokyo is having the blackout and why it's starting to spread. So after the gang seemingly defeated Aizmon digivolved into an ultimate level Digimon known as Orochimon. Of course, this is Orochimon. So Orochimon is huge. Even though it's an ultimate, and all their Digimon are ultimate of varying sizes, right? Some are humanoidish, some are 2 stories, some are massive like Garudamon, but Orochimon is basically a kaiju. He's a kaiju. And the roar it gives sends out an EMP. And the EMP was messing with Koshiro's laptop, but not too bad, but it was messing with the Digivice. And apparently the roar was affecting the real world. It was kind of interesting. And when the heads were coming up, the children actually thought that it was 8 different Digimon, but then Koshiro did the scan and said no, it's one and it has 8 heads. And one of the heads, they have their attack is gathering water, and it's like a water beam. Well, Zudamon did the Hammer Spark, and Metal Greymon did the Giga Storm. Both of their attacks merged together. Barely was able to battle against the water stream, and they were hit so hard that they basically just de-digivolved into Goemon and Agumon. At this point, Ty's like, we all need to run. They're gonna try to fly on Garudamon. Tai sees that Yamato is, after hearing that it's affecting the real world, and they do give us a little side by side. We see that all the cars that were on the road, the one that Tai's mother was driving, they all just stop. Excuse me, they all just stop. So Yamato's like staring at him, and Taichi goes back for him, where Garurumon has to pick them both up, even though Yamato's like, no, we need to stay and fight. And just Orochimon is destroying all of this fake Tokyo, just blowing up buildings, destroying the streets, firing at not only the retreating Garurumon group, but the flyers that are in the sky. They end up getting a close call and they start to fall. It's kind of funny that Joe actually makes a joke, saying like my grades can't fall for exams. It was a joke I wasn't expecting, because it's you don't get many of those in the Japanese version of it. I expected this really an American like joke, so pretty interesting. Let me just check this out. So at this point, everyone has digivolved. Yamato and Tai, Gabumon and Agumon, they're underground and the fake railway, and the others they're kind of underground, but they're not where they are, and they're separated. Tai can't even use the Digivice to communicate with them, and Koshiro was thinking about the whole situation, and he comes up with that Aizmon created this separate dimension that somehow is linked to the real world. So he's trying to come up with ways on how to not just sever that connection, but trying to see if they can fix things. And they didn't say it too much, but the railways start to work. And I think Koshiro, even though he didn't come out and say it, I believe Koshiro had something to do with that. I guess he figured somehow that doing something in that dimension that they're in within the digital world was able to get the trains to start rolling. And as they get the trains to start rolling, Ty's mom's like, you know what, let's just get off and we'll take a train. And unfortunately, while Hikaru is getting out, people, you know how people are. Once they hear the trains are running, they want to hurry up and take it so they can get out. And she gets swept up in a group of people. Cutting back over to the digital world, Tai asks Yamato, what was that back there? Why'd you freeze up? And Yamato, remember the groups have been split up this whole time, says, my brother lives. I didn't catch the name of the province, but where my brother's living, is really close to Shibuya, which is very true because they're going through the same things. We get a shot of Takeru looking at a picture of him and his brother and their parents, and he's looking at this screen that isn't working, and it is just unreal. But funny enough, in the real world, when Orochimon is destroying that fake Tokyo, they get lots of rumblings, and on the screen, there's a big screen in Tokyo. Hikaru, that's Kari for English people, and Taichi's little sister, she's able to see Orochimaru. She's able to see Orochimon on the screen. And I'm unsure if other people can see it. I don't think they do, but Orochimon is on the screen. And Mimi, and we get to a point where maybe this wasn't translated well. Because at first, it seems like Mimi saying, man, I've already been through so much. And then, all the children are saying, like, yeah, we've all been through a lot. But, Joe makes the point of saying, I feel like I've grown as a person, maybe. Because, Joe always has that little bit of doubt. He says, well, Gomon, you did get really big with Zudomon. And then Piomon is all in a tizzy, like, I got big too. And Sora's jokingly saying, well, I think Garudamon can be big. And one of the sickest burns, Palmon says, well, I'm beautiful. And Mimi says, only his Lilymon. And that is hilarious. And of course, Koshiro and Tenamon's bond is so adorable because he's saying, you're the coolest as Alter Kabuterimon. We all just need to work together and take this thing out. So we go back over to Tai and Yamato, and they were being quiet the whole time because one of the giant heads was passing them by. And then Yamato stands up, and he's like, "You're not going to stop me from going." And Taichi's like, "I don't plan on it. I plan on going with you." As a matter of fact, it's not just you and me. It's you, me, and our Digimon pals here. So let's get it cracking. And of course, they're riding on Garurumon all the way until they get close to Orochimon. They break out of the ground and they start the assault. And I guess because Tai and Yamato are more or less the leaders, they're more or less really important. We get to see their Digivolutions, from the rookie forms to the champion forms. And of course, as they're fighting one on one, they're trying to take on these heads to get to their ultimate stages. And I guess they just needed time to rest because the Giga Storm attack that Metal Greymon does is actually able to go one on one with another one of those jet streams. And as they're like, we can do this, we're gonna have to take him out. The cavalry comes in, they start dividing up heads. Apparently, Alter Kabuterimon says he's gonna take on 2 heads, which is just dang, bro. So they're all giving it their all. One of the coolest scenes was seeing Zudomon spin his hammer and deflect one of the blasts that was coming at Yamato and Taichi while they were on Metal Greymon. Just great. Again, animation for this leagues ahead of what we had in the original shows, especially in the 90s. This is really good stuff. And obviously, like I said before, they divide the heads up. And what's happening now is Metal Greymon's using that metal armor of his to cut through this water stream. And the head that they're fighting is this black one. And they're going closer and closer. And when they're near point blank range, they Metal Greymon unleashes another Giga Storm, and the beam collides and crashes all the way into the Orochimon head, and the head starts to get that little digital look that most of them get when they take heavy damage. And it's at this time when they're going head to head with him, Hikari, keep calling Hikaru, Hikari and Takeru can actually see their brothers in the digital world because Takeru has like a little tablet in his hand, and of course Hikari is on the streets and can see this, and it's great because now that point blank, Metal Greymon uses Giga Destroyer. Giga Destroyer is actually its original finishing move from Forever. The Giga Storm thing is actually pretty new to me. And, this is just give you a little taste. This is from the old one. I do not own this footage. If we can take a little bit of a look here. The launch pad opens, the missiles fire, and much like what happened to Flame Miramon in this old episode, once they hit that middle head and that explosion hits, the heads are all falling back. It's as if Godzilla had knocked out King Ghidorah, and they're falling one by one by one by one until they finally do a little digital explosion thing. And so after this battle, everybody's in their rookie forms. They're all resting. Tai and Agumon are just like flat out laying on the ground. And in true leader fashion, he's saying, we all did this. We did this together, and we did a great thing. And then on the screen in front of them, in that little dimension that they are in a digital world, a countdown that starts at 10 minutes pops up, and it's starting to count down. And the real world sees the same thing. What the heck is going on? Even in the preview, I still don't know what's going on. It looks like we're going to see another new Digimon, and I'm wondering if this is going to be the mega form of Orochimon. Looks like it could be a form that ties back into Eyesmon, because I'm seeing little globules that look like eyes, but until I figure out what this thing is, I don't have a picture for you guys, but this thing looks kind of cool. I had to look on the YouTube trailer, which showed Devimon, because you see Devimon in there, and this stuff is crazy, and it looks like Hikari, and Hikari's going to grab a feather, and it looks like Takeru sees the crest of hope. Will the team finally get their full 8? Who knows? One thing I did forget to mention is when Yamato and Taichi were making their, hurrah towards Orochimon on top of Metal Greymon, the Digivice that Taichi was holding was glowing, and for whatever reason, Metal Greymon, that crest of courage was on him. But we did get shots of each of the children's Digivices glowing as they're, cheering on their Digimon. They weren't necessarily on them this time because this was one of their hardest battles to date. This is probably right up there with Metal Tyrannomon. Metal Tyrannomon was one of the harder ones for them to face because those other ultimates, while they were strong, and they weren't Metal Tyrannomon strong, I would say Metal Tyrannomon, Andromon, and possibly Cannon Beamon are probably some of the strongest ones they had to go against. Yeah, Mammothmon was pretty tough too, but that was because of the circumstances they were under. And this thing is the toughest battle to date. I do appreciate seeing that they have more of a direct connection. They have not broken that. Seeing how the real world is affected in real time, not just random cut-ins. They show when something happens there, they immediately show, and it's not really abrupt. It really fits in there. It's really good. Them coming together again, I deeply enjoy it. I know in the future we will get more like one-on-one or like groups of 2 or 3 of the guys together, and that's cool, and I'm for that. But this was really nice to see them all come together and to rally behind one another. I got to give this episode. I think I'll give it a 4.5, only because we got a preview of what was happening in the last episode, and I'm leaning towards 4.5 just because, man, this could easily be a 5 if I'm going to be completely honest with you. This was a really, really good episode. These last 2, including this one, 15, 16, and 17, the cliffhangers have been really good. Even though you get the previews and you kind of get a feeling based on the titles of what's going on, it does really pay to watch these episodes. And I do encourage you, after you're done watching an episode, come here and listen to my review of it. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give this series of 3 because I do think this new Digimon is gonna pop up. It's still connected to Orochimon over here. I think I'm gonna give this I'll give it a 4.5. Last one was a 5 because it was pretty cool how they all joined up. I'll give this a 4.5. It's borderline on the 6. It's actually just that good. I'm interested in seeing how this whole trio thing, this trio episodes wraps up. It's gonna be very, very interesting, guys. So please, if you've seen it, tell me what you think. Please leave a comment down below. As always, I'm gonna ask you to please subscribe, like, comment on the video, hit the notification bell just so you can get more reviews like this every Sunday. We go ahead and give these reviews to you, and I still have even more videos I give it to you on Thursdays and sometimes in the middle of the week. Again, let me know what you're looking forward to. Are you looking forward to finally seeing Metal Greymon turn into Were Greymon like they've been hinting at in the opening? I really do enjoy the opening. I hope they keep that same song and just change the visuals and the song. The song of when Yamato and Taichi were going up there with Were Garurumon and Metal Greymon. It was different when the rest of the guys came in. That song, when the whole group is fighting, it sounds like a Persona 4 song, in my opinion. It sounds like the one from the Persona 4 Ultimate Fighting game, but it's maybe the same. Maybe they borrowed the melody to make it sound that way, but really, really good music, really great visuals. Digimon Adventure 2020, one of the best things that has happened in 2020. So, guys, as always, be good, be blessed, wear your mask, wash your hands, Black Lives Matter, and I will definitely be seeing you next time.